Hello, everyone. Let's get started. In Monday's class, we talked about natural medicines from plants, the kind of natural remedies that have been used by traditional healers and grandmothers everywhere for a very long time. These are things like drinking tea made from lemon and garlic to ease the symptoms of a cold. Today, we're going to continue with that topic, but we're going to shift focus and talk about modern medicines that come from plants. They're called plant-based medicines. Many of our most common medicines originally came from plants. Aspirin was developed by studying a chemical found in the bark of the willow tree. Native Americans used to take a piece of the bark and chew it to decrease pain. Another medicine, which is used to treat heart disease, comes from a plant generally known as foxglove. It's a poisonous plant, by the way, so I'm not recommending that you eat it. Now, you may wonder how a poisonous plant, like the foxglove, can be good for our health. It doesn't sound logical, but here's the thing. Every plant contains dozens, sometimes hundreds of different chemicals. What scientists have done with the foxglove plant is to identify the chemicals that are helpful in treating heart disease. Then they create a drug with those chemicals. Does that make sense? Here's another example. It's the rosy periwinkle, a plant that gave us two important medicines. In traditional medicine, the plant was used to restore normal blood sugar levels in people with diabetes, a disease where patients have too much sugar in their blood. But when scientists studied the plant, what they found was not a new diabetes medicine. Instead, they developed two anti-cancer drugs. It's important to note that they do not use the chemical directly from the plants. Scientists identify the chemical in the plant, and then the medicine is made with a synthetic chemical. This chemical is made in a laboratory, but it's the same chemical that's in the rosy periwinkle plant. In other words, scientists reproduce the chemical in a laboratory. And then a drug company uses this synthetic chemical, the one created in a lab, to manufacture the drug. At this point, I hope you can see how helpful plants have been to people. They are used as traditional remedies and as models for synthetic chemicals made in a lab. You might be wondering why scientists aren't looking at hundreds of plants that are used as remedies. That's a good question to ask, and the answer's complicated. First of all, in most countries, it costs a lot of money to develop and study any new drug, and to get government approval. It can take anywhere from 8 to 12 years. The process is especially difficult with plant-based medicines. That's because when you're working with plants, there are a lot of variables. The main variable is related to the plant chemicals. These chemicals can vary depending on the time of day the plant is picked, the age of the plant, and what other plants are growing nearby that might impact the plant. Because of these variables, it's difficult to get reliable and predictable results with plant-based medicines. Synthetic chemicals help remove these variables. There really aren't any shortcuts when developing new medicines. New drugs have to go through a long testing process before they can be used by consumers.